Hey guys, it's your favorite Donabot here, and today we have Fractured Sun Hulk versus Japanese G1 or Takara Grimlock. Now, I hope you guys enjoy this video. We will not be using Infernal Hulk because, again, we do not have a solid scale at where he's at, especially considering the fact that we know this is an amplified Hulk as well. So, without further ado, let us begin. Starting off with the Fractured Sun himself, the one below all, the one above all's rage, the broken child of the mother of horrors, right? Well, let's talk about it. Pre-Infernal Hulk and all that. Now, mind you, keep in mind that we don't really have a solid way to say this is base Hulk right now, just because we do know that the mother of horrors, or sorry, the eldest, excuse me, pretty much possessed the Hulk's body and amplified him with her magic, and then amplified him by eating the mother of horrors body and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's really talk about it. So the chains of the first firmament, things that were meant to hold Hulk, right? These chains were able to hold true form Eternity, who actually embodies the Marvel cosmology, right? And mind you, Eternity could not really break these chains on a normal means, right? Needed outside helps and actually you're able to get some, excuse me, tongue twist. But yet Hulk is able to break these chains strong enough to hold a cosmic abstract entity. Oh wait, Hulk's been able to harm one as well. He's actually been able to harm the likes of Lady Death. Now, he was a bit shocked, like, she's fine. But again, this is Lady Death still, an abstract entity, the literal embodiment of death. Crazy, right? And one of the best feats is the fact that Hulk did not get one shot by Thanos, who had the Mind Stone and was trying to use the Mind Stone to control him, but obviously, that ain't work on somebody who's telepathically resistant, a much higher telepathic resistance, mind you. And keep in mind, this fight actually showed that Hulk had came a long way from that kind of power level. I think that's the best way I could really say it. Because again, back in the day, Thanos was whooping Hulk out. He would pimp smack him and be done with him. He would just simply block him with his force fields and then laser him, then walk off and be done with it. Thanos was dogging the Hulk for years. Even when he had the help of characters like Thing and Hercules, he was just straight up dogging him. And yet here is Fractured Sun not only going toe-to-toe with Thanos, but almost beating him by his physical strength alone, even tanking his energy blast, which, as I said earlier, usually one-shotted him. However, speaking of, we also have the fact that he was able to go toe-to-toe and actually tank attacks from All-Father Thor. Now, if you ask me who I think would have won this, I can definitely say Thor seemed like he had the upper hand for a good majority of the fight and just simply overwhelmed Fractured Sun here. Again, we do know Hulk is the physically stronger of the two, and the fact that he was able to harm Thor with that blow says a lot. Keep in mind, Thor's scaling is just massively higher at this point. This is someone who has the Odin Force, the Zeus Force, and possibly still things like Gaia's, force and stuff like that, or Gaia's powers, and a little bit of the Phoenix Force and stuff like that. But keep in mind, Thor has surpassed both of his parents, Odin, who was the combination of multiple elder gods, and the likes of Gaia, an entity that was considered the strongest of the gods, the most powerful of the gods. And keep in mind, this was even above characters like Hercules, who can pretty much hold open the door of the House of Ideas, an area that contained the power to remake, reshape, and refurbish all of creation. Mind you, we should know the Marvel cosmology by now. Infinite universes, infinite dimensions, higher dimensional planes that simply exceed, these basic multiverses. Every continuity or every Earth is basically its own universe, or now its own multiverse and stuff like that. So the ultimate universe is now the ultimate multiverse and stuff like that. Beings like Thor can transcend these dimensions and stuff by his godhood alone. And yet here's the Hulk, casually thrashing him. We can even upscale him from a large majority of his previous feats as Immortal Hulk and Starship Hulk as well. The fact that Immortal Hulk was able to literally grab Nyx by her face and throw her like a football, or throw her like a baseball, I should say. Man was hitting them home run type of throws right there. Now, mind you, Nyx's power was so much that it was felt across the far shore, and yet Hulk was able to manhandle her and throw her. And in a weakened state, she was still able to snap someone like Zeus's neck, who was on par with Odin. Possibly a little bit stronger if you really want to give it that, because again, Zeus never really lost his prime. He never got weaker over the years. So you could probably say like he was stronger than a weakened Odin and on par with a fully powered one. So, you know, Odin shaking the Marvel multiverse and stuff like that, obviously being the combination of 5 elder gods and exceeding his earth wife Gaia. And mind you, Thor himself is still capable of wrestling beings that pretty much should exceed or pretty much come close to his strength, like the World Serpent. Then you have the fact that Hulk was still able to thrash characters that can go toe-to-toe with Null in their base, if not weakened-like states, like Nebulon. Nebulon was someone who had the power of Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer, as I said earlier, is someone who can go toe-to-toe with Null at his base before unleashing his full power. Hulk himself also has one of the most ridiculous healing factors of all time. We should know this by now. This man has regenerated from being sliced up, stabbed, gutted. You name it, he's tanked it and has been able to come back from it. Even things designed to take away this boy's healing factor. This dude is still able to overcome it at the end of the day. Able to do all this stuff, all this feats, just by sheer raw strength, muscle, and greenness. But that is going to be all for the Hulk. Easily an autoversal to high autoversal entity just by the feats I've named. And well, now we can get into his opponent, Grimlock. Now, Japanese G1 Grimlock. Takara! Now, everyone should know that this Grimlock himself was actually personally summoned by the likes of Primus, and he's actually ridiculously powerful. For starters, this Grimlock has the Amalgamous energy, which is the energy of Gaia or the energy of Unicron, whichever one, to be honest. And this energy has actually granted beings power beyond belief here. But let's actually talk about it as a whole, right? He's actually been able to defeat the likes of a Prepared Shockwave and Soundwave. Keep in mind, these are all still G1 characters at the end of the day, but they're just extremely overpowered. Now, him being able to defeat all of these characters actually does show that he is pretty powerful, and the fact that he is comparable to the likes of Star Convoy. Mind you, Predaking is on par with the likes of King Poseidon, who was capable of actually tanking Star Convoy's, well, gold power attack, with the gold power obviously giving someone the power of the Omniverse, as they're able to access and even summon multiple versions of themselves across the multiverse. Now, keep in mind, when he got the Amalgamous energy, Grimlock was not only able to go toe-to-toe with Predaking, but managed to one-shot him when it combined into Volcanicus. Keep in mind, combiners can only function under one person, and with the Dinobots fully trusting Grimlock, he has full control over them. He then gains his intelligence back from becoming Volcaticon, and is actually capable of targeting weak points. Mind you, Grimlock possesses the Magma Blade, a blade that is capable of shredding through anyone and anything. This was even able to decapitate his very creator, an evil version of his creator, mind you, Primus. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to the G1 characters in the Japanese G1 continuity, they were just completely overpowered. Megatron himself contained the energy of the universe. Mind you, Japanese G1 is just an alternate timeline or an alternate continuation of G1 to where everyone is just a straight up monster. But again, going back to Megatron, this man had the power of the universe itself. Obviously, infinite in size with infinite dimensional layers easily upscales from that, right? And the fact that he was able to wield this power, create any weapon he wants. And again, this goes into King Megatron as well, who was able to create his own spear and actually tried to use it against the Dinobots. That did not work at all. Like, just no. Now, mind you, I've already given my scale for the Transformers cosmology, and I'll keep it brief here. Go ahead and watch the up-to-date video for it, right? But with that being said here, the Transformers cosmology operates similar to Marvel, but again, let me give it its own. Infinite universes with infinite dimensional layers that are continuously growing. Dimensions that consist of conceptual nature, higher dimensional planes, mind you, like Cloud World, Alternity Realm, and even the what I'm talking about, the unspace, the unspace as well. You also have your other realms or other multiverses or omniverses that also make it up as well. Keep in mind, Dungeons and Dragons exist, with that beginning to Outerversal quite casually. The Cthulhu mythos also getting to Outerversal as well. Keep in mind as well, Grimlock here consistently scales relative to a much stronger Megatron as well, if not flat out surpassing him, because he's able to deflect his energy and even being able to outshine Abominus, who, by the way, Megatron Omega, perfect form, mind you, was able to casually absorb the energy and later dominate, with Grimlock coming to basically block a much stronger attack from this Megatron Omega. Now, keep in mind, this Megatron here was capable of taking an attack from 5 Matrixes and the power of Optimus Maximus as well. God Neptune had killed Optimus Maximus and absorbed his power into his trident blade. But with the combination of the 5 Matrixes as well, he basically just, as you guys can see here, he simply just cuts Optimus Maximus in half. But again, Optimus Maximus, feeling bad for him, gave him his Amalgamous energy. Mind you, before that, Megatron Omega almost one-shot God Neptune, or not King Neptune, God Neptune here. And so he basically utilizes the combination of the 5 matrices, by the way, which each have their own abilities like transmutation, energy, life and death manipulation, time manipulation, and stuff like that, combined with this Amalgamous energy, mind you, which again is the power of Unicron or Gaia, and simply slices him in half, right? And then he goes into his perfect form. So this Megatron surpassed the power of 5 matrices. Matter of fact, 5 amped matrices, because they were all harmonized together. The matrix of leadership, no matter if it's corrupted or not, literally scales to the fact that it can kill its creators, Primus or Unicron, with the Death Matrix basically being the matrix made to kill Primus, an abstract entity. And keep this in mind as well, right? The matrix of leadership left unchecked can one-shot just about any continuity in the multiverse. Any. And I do mean any. So Megatron Omega surpassed that in his perfect form, and then gained more energy by absorbing the Amalgamous energy from Abominus, right? And then proceeded to dog walk him, and here comes Grimlock in his Volcanicus form, being able to casually block it. Now, we also have to talk about the fact that he was able to basically slice the head off of Primacron's evil avatar version of Primus, which basically killed another version of Primus that had the gold power. I know there was a lot of character, similarities, but again, evil Primus killed a good Primus that had the gold power. And Grimlock goes on to split his skull and make him inactive, meaning that this Grimlock would actually scale above the likes of the gold power itself, something that allows users to basically tap into the Omniverse and can either summon or create alternate versions of themselves that even rival or equal that of alternatives. Alternatives being beings that can literally consume and even disrupt the flow of time of any single Transformers multiverse. And keep in mind, Transformers is an omniverse as well. Now, could I scale Grimlock to the Tree of Life? Yes, I really could, which means he would actually be able to, well, scale to the likes of any part of the spheres on the Tree of Life, which transcend the omniverse by a insignificant amount, or to the point where the omniverse looks insignificant, which is the bottom of the tree. However, given the fact that I just got the Transformers Omniverse to not only Outerversal but High Outerversal, and literally just scaled this guy above the avatars of Unicron and Primus, even above the likes of the whatchamacallit, Matrix of Leadership itself here, and the fact that this man has amalgamous energy, weapons creation, literally has his intelligence where he can pretty much read anyone's movements, has a small healing factor because, again, this man was damaged multiple times and was able to casually repair himself because of the amalgamous energy. This Grimlock would easily be into the Outerversal to High Outerversal ranges. But now, let's talk about the matchup itself. So, who wins between these two big giant powerhouses? Let's talk about it. In terms of physical strength, I actually do think Hulk is the stronger of the two, while Grimlock is definitely the more hacksy of the two. In terms of their durability, they are quite comparable. Hulk has a slight edge due to him having a better healing factor. When it comes to their combat skills and abilities, Grimlock takes this just expeditiously. Better than Optimus, better than Megatron even, and in all honesty, the amalgamous energy just gives him absurd power-ups as well. So we have a case where Grimlock, being the more skilled, faster, and more, more skilled, faster, and the more hacks of the two, while Hulk is the stronger and has the better healing factor of the two. Grimlock also has the better battle intelligence and the better countermeasures for Hulk as well. Oof. In terms of scaling, I do think they are pretty equal to each other. But again, I do think that if this fight does come down to it, I think Grimlock takes it more often than not, and here's why. You see, while Hulk is definitely, physically stronger and physically durable, he doesn't have a real counter for the amalgamous energy being able to boost Grimlock continuously. Keep in mind, Grimlock just got, abnormally stronger by absorbing all the amounts of amalgamous energy he got from Computrine, and he got from Abominus, and the fact that, he was strong enough at the end of it to surpass even the gold power, a power that literally, is connected to the Transformers Omniverse itself here. While the Marvel cosmology is big, again, it's kind of where they both rank. Grimlock is a bit of a higher rank in his cosmology with this version of him than Hulk is with this current iteration of him as well. He still has that, one below all scaling and stuff like that there, but again, he's not in those same, I guess you could say, creation tiers yet. Still gotta wait to see if Infernal Hulk can be used with the actual Hulk and stuff like that. Plus, we do know Hulk is going up against the one above all in the next Infernal Hulk run, but we don't know exactly what's happening just yet. So, until then, this can change. I will admit, this can change. But for right now, I do think Grimlock does take the clear edge in terms of the more creation or higher tier scaling. Even if you want to say it's an avatar, you still have the fact that, Hulk doesn't really scale to the one above all just yet. Okay, that's all I'm saying right now. But in terms of how I think this fight will go, I definitely think that Hulk is going to be the aggressor of the two, while Grimlock is definitely going to be able to match that energy. I think Grimlock's weaponry as well, the Magma Blade, is going to be able to cut Hulk no matter what. I think even with the healing factor and stuff like that, it's going to cut him. This is a blade that literally cut through an Avatar Primus that killed a strong, a very powerful another avatar of himself that had the power of the entire Omniverse with a Matrix of Leadership giving him a boost. Yeah, so that sword's going to be able to cut Hulk no matter what. Plus, with the fact that during the Thanos fight, the fact that Hulk still got outsmarted by Thanos, and Grimlock has a much higher battle IQ, even though this is G1 Grimlock, this Grimlock still has a much higher battle IQ and is willing to target weak points more than, someone like Thanos or than even his regular G1 self here. He could easily target some of the more vital organs of Hulk and stuff like that. Maybe even target Bruce Banner himself like the Eldest did. It's very possible considering the fact that the amalgamous energy just allows him to bypass a lot of Hulk's durability and stuff like that. So it's very possible he could do what the Eldest did and just simply gut Hulk and then tear out Bruce Banner as seeing it as a weak point. Keep in mind, Cybertronians pretty much see by scanning and analyzing opponents even on a much more deeper or exoskeletal level. So he probably would be able to find Banner within, the Hulk here and do what the Eldest did and rip him out, making Hulk weaker. Again, very big possibility considering the fact that Hulk does not have a counter for the amalgamous energy and the magma blade. I almost said the amalgamous blade, excuse me. But again, he does not have a counter for the magma blade as a whole, as it'll just simply cut through him. So, with that being said, giving it very high to extreme difficulty, but because Grimlock just has better hacks and abilities that honestly Hulk doesn't have too much of a counter for or too much of a resistance to, I do think Grimlock does take this high to extreme difficulty. But again, Hulk can definitely take a few if he keeps the fight just purely physical and doesn't allow Grimlock to use those hacks. But more often than not, I can see Grimlock being able to easily figure out Hulk and honestly outskill, outmaneuver, and pretty much just outsmart him. But that's going to be all today, you guys, and y'all have a blessed day. Peace.